Yeah. Now then, so last week I blathered on for about 12 minutes about all these different bits that I put on the bike, and I think it probably got a little bit boring towards the end. So I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet this week. I'm also not going to talk too much about these different bits that I put on the bike, but what I thought I'd make it a bit different. I'll show you how I clean them up before I put them on the bike. Something a bit different. So this is not how I would normally clean a full motorcycle. Normally you'd start with like a hose pipe and soapy water and a sponge and all that stuff. But because all these parts are off the bike and it's only seen a few dry miles, so it doesn't need like a proper like deep clean. They only need just sort of a bit of road muck just cleaning off. So if they were properly crapped up with grease and snot, then I'd start with something like WD-40. Oh well, I'd start with soap and water first, but like WD-40 is great for breaking down, like I said, built up like grease, engine oil, muck, all that good stuff. WD-40 will just strip that off. But WD-40 also leaves a residue, and I don't want that. Also, thing with WD-40 is you shouldn't be spraying it around things like bearings and seals because it breaks down grease. So if you get it in your bearings, you know where this goes. So what I'm doing is I start actually with brake cleaner, which might be a bit controversial because it's for cleaning brakes. But I like it because it's clean, which sounds stupid, but it evaporates as well. Doesn't leave a residue. This can's nearly run out. So mutton cloth. Get yourself a roll of that off eBay or at an auto jumble. And like you've got to be quick with brake cleaning because it just like almost evaporates straight away. But it's perfect for just getting rid of all that rubbish. I've already cleaned this. I'm cheating a little bit. So once I've done that, if it's metal, in terms of if it's shiny, I'll give it some Auto Sol metal polish. You probably can't see that because it's backwards. I don't know, but like get that on a microfiber cloth. Say it actually, not microfiber cloth. I use mutton cloth for that as well. Bit of that on there. Polish. It's how much elbows grease you've got. You know what I mean? How many hours in a day you're going to spend putting into polishing your bike. I get bored. I get really bored really quickly. So I kind of do the bare minimum of Auto Sol polishing. And then, once I've cleaned it, polished it if necessary, then I'll give it one last little go with something like this, Muck Off Speed Polish. This just happens to be the one that I've got. There's lots of sort of variations of a theme with Muck Off. Sometimes I don't really know what the difference is. Like Silicon Shine, I think is pretty much the same thing. It's not, but any kind of spray polish, Auto Gleam do one called Show Polish. It's just, like I say, it's just polishing a can. And you just spray that on. And it kind of hazes up a bit. And then get like a nice clean microfiber cloth. And make sure you've not got any swarf in it, because I have done that. And that will scratch the buggery out of stuff. Just give that a nice good rub. Again, like a bit more of a buff than a clean. And that should make it all nice and shiny. And pretty. And then it goes on the bike. Happy days. So that's what I'm doing. Brake cleaner, Auto Sol if necessary, and then just like I say, spray polish, and then it'll go on the bike. The spray polish is good as well because it leaves a protective layer on your stuff, which stops muck building up, and it makes it easy to clean next time. Blah 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 blah. I'm not trying to sell it, but you get the point. Other stuff I use. Bearings, get some bearing grease, unsurprisingly. Axles, things like that. Also what you need on a Harley Davidson. Grease gun for all those grease nipples. And I also use copper slip, which I've lost. I've got a little tube of copper slip somewhere. And I'm putting that. It's a bit hard to differentiate between where you put grease and where you put copper slip. Copper slip I'm sort of putting on areas where there's not really enough room for grease, I guess. Like you want to, it lubricates it, it stops it corroding and seizing up. I talked about that a bit more last time, so I'm not going to blather on for ages. And of course, the most important thing on an Harley Davidson, Loctite. Loctite, again, is one of those things where there's about 17 million different versions, and you know, you look on the internet, there's loads of people on the forums going, I always use Loctite, this, that and the other, and blah, 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 but I went for 243. I think the blue is for where you've got high vibration, which of course we've got plenty here, and the 243, I think there's like a 242 or a 245 or whatever. They're like different strengths, and I think that comes down to how much torque you want it to be able to withstand braking. If that makes any sense, you're doing well. So that's just kind of, I went, I think, middle of the road with that. So yeah, that's it. That's probably enough for today. I've already gone over my 5 minutes. I'm out to 6 minutes, so I'll say see you later. And I'm just going to finish by saying hi to my fan base. Hi, Mum and Dad. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.